With so many dropped object prevention items available, how do you know which tethers and attachments to choose, how to install and anchor them, and are there ways to prevent dropped objects without using tethers and tool tape? What I'll be doing is covering everything you need to know about tethering objects and tools weighing up to 40 pounds with a complete ANSi ISEA 121 tested and compliant range of solutions that feature tool tethers, tool attachments, tool tape, and hard hat tethers. Now, don't worry, by the time you're done watching this video, you'll easily know how to choose the right tethering system for your specific needs. So let's get started with tool tethers, also known as tool lanyards. What's the difference and which one do you need? The reason there are so many tethering options or systems is because there are an infinite number of different objects, each with varying weights and multiple ways to attach tethers to them. Now, before you can choose the right tool lanyard, as a competent person or safety professional, you should know the exact weight of all the tools and objects you need to apply tethers to. The reason is some tethers can't handle the weight of objects weighing over 5 pounds. So, first and foremost, you must know the weight of the objects or tools you need to tether. To give you a quick weight reference, if you don't have a scale handy while on a job site, a large 34-ounce water bottle is just over 2 pounds, and a standard cordless drill gun with a battery is just over 3.5 pounds. Now, once you know the weight of the objects, simply separate them by those that are under 5 pounds and those that are over 5 pounds. This will make choosing tethers a heck of a lot easier.
Let's start with tethers for objects and tools that are less than 5 pounds because most hand tools are going to be less than that. We'll cover heavier items in a minute. Most tool lanyards have dual carabiners like this one here, while others have a carabiner on one end and a choke loop or cinch lock loop on the other end. Even though they all do the same thing, these options are made available to give you more choices depending on the objects you're tethering and the situations you're using them in. If you don't think these tethers are ideal for your situation, or maybe you don't want the cord hanging down, or you work around chemicals or in harsh conditions, then perhaps our vinyl coil tether may be a better option. There are two coil options. One is for objects and tools under 2 pounds, and the other is for objects and tools up to 5 pounds. Now, there is an alternative system for attaching your tools, and this is achieved by using Falltech's wrist anchor system. All you need is the corresponding attachments that connect to the wrist anchor, and what's great about these attachments is that they can also connect to a tether, a speed clip connection. Think about all the options and flexibility you have and how you can work with multiple tools without slowing you down. There's a link to a video with more info on the wrist anchor in the description, or you can check it out at falltech.com. Now that you know what tethers are available for objects or tools up to 5 pounds, how do you connect the tether to them? Common hand tools have either a captive eye hole like this crescent wrench, which allow for a direct connection to a tether, or tools have an open handle with no captive eye like these pliers, which require you to install an attachment to create a connection to the tether. In other words, since there is no dedicated captive eye hole to connect a tether, you have to add one on. We've got multiple attachments for tools with a captive eye hole or open handles, which include D-ring attachments and cinch lock loop attachments with a carabiner and D-rings. Plus we have a power tool attachment as well. We've got a lot of instructional videos showing you how to install attachments, and there's a simple guide for choosing tool attachments and tethers on our website at falltech.com. Remember how we separated the objects by those that are over or under 5 pounds? Well, let's take a look at the tethers used for objects between 5 and 15 pounds. We'll get to the really heavy stuff next. Just like we saw with the other tethers, the main differences between these tethers are also going to be dual carabiner ends or a carabiner on one end with a loop at the other end. The dual carabiners are available with 3 different options: steel screw gate, aluminum twist lock, and aluminum swivel twist lock. Each do the same job, so choice is totally up to you on the carabiner style and metal type. However, the swivel carabiner does prevent twisting. Now, for the lanyards with the loop end, there are 3 different loop styles. Let's get you familiar with each one. There are elastic cinch lock cords, non-elastic cinch lock cords, and a web choke-on loop. And here's our elastic cinch lock cord loop, which is available with either a steel screw gate or aluminum twist lock carabiner. The lanyard with the aluminum swivel carabiner does have a cinch lock cord, however, this cord is not elastic. Either cord works great though. Again, it's simply up to you to decide which cord you feel will work best for the object you're tethering. All right, now for the really heavy stuff. If you need to tether something up to 40 pounds, such as a small compressor, generator, or toolbox, here's the lanyards you'll need. There are 2 options: large dual swivel twist lock carabiners and a choke loop end with the same large carabiner. Do not connect any tether to itself. If there is no carabiner connection point, you may be able to use our choke loop attachment as a workaround. Now for what you've all been waiting for, hard hat tethers. There are 3 options available: the stretch coil with a snap clip, stretch web with a snap buckle, and the third is a combination of the stretch web and coil with a cinch loop. Out of the 3, this one is ANSi compliant. It's the stretch coil with the web. All right, now you know the differences between all the dropped object prevention products you need for protecting yourself and fellow workers. Again, for more tips on selecting the best tethering system, check out what's available at falltech.com. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment below. We will get back to you. Subscribe, ring the bell, or send us an email. Thanks for watching.